Hey everyone, welcome back to Clarity Tarot. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I hope you guys are super excited for today's reading because we are going to be doing an October 2021 guidance reading for the feminine energy. So if you resonate more with the feminine energy, then this reading is going to be a guide for the month of October for you, so that way you know exactly what you're walking into, what you can expect, how to best use your energy. We're going to be looking at the goal for you, the actions to take, where your blind spots are, and how to overcome that. So I hope you guys are excited for today's reading. We're going to be doing a 9-card spread, and I'm going to be using the Fountain Tarot deck. I also, on the side here, have another newer deck to me called the Numinous deck, so I may or may not be using this, but that's what I have over here. All right, so let's go ahead, let's get started, let's tune into the cards, and let's see what we need to know about the month of October. All right, so most important messages, please. What do we need to know about the month of October? Most important messages. All right, so we have a couple cards coming out here. Let's go ahead and cut the cards, and we'll lay all the cards out. I'm actually going to lay them out face down, and then we'll dive into them one by one. But as you can see here, we have 2 cards that came out face up. So that is the 3 of Wands in the overall energy of the month, and the 2 of Coins in your current energy. So that is really exciting. It's a good way to start off the month, and it looks like October is going to be really nice. Bottom of the deck, we have the Judgment card. So the underlying energy for the month of October is Judgment. So what I feel is underneath the surface, right, with inside of you, you're going to feel very black and white about things. And that is very characteristic of like Libra, Scorpio energy that we're having in the month of October. I feel that if you have had some sort of issue or challenge or problem that you've been dealing with, that you're going to come to a conclusion about that this month, that you are no longer going to let something persist in your life that doesn't resonate with your soul, that doesn't make you feel good. So I do feel that something in your life will be coming to an end, but it's something that needs to come to an end. In fact, I think you'll be very happy that whatever this is coming to an end, because it feels like something just does not feel right in your soul. Something no longer resonates with who you are as a person. Something no longer resonates with what you believe, and it's causing a lot of stress and a lot of conflict for you. So I really like this, and it really feels like you're going to be able to close the chapter on something in your life and feel good about it. You're not going to look back and have regrets. You're not going to look back and wonder if you did the right thing or not. You're going to have so much peace and confidence in yourself that you did the right thing for yourself and by yourself. So it feels really, really, really good. Okay. Now, the overall energy of October, we have the 3 of Wands here. So what I feel is October is a month where you might be looking ahead or thinking ahead about the next couple months of your life. So it looks like something's ending in your life, and because something's ending in your life, something new is beginning in your life by default, right? So when we have an ending, we have a new beginning. And what I like about the 3 of Wands is I feel like, you're not looking so far ahead and getting yourself overwhelmed. You're just looking a few months ahead saying, what do I want to accomplish by the end of the year? What do I want my life to look like by the end of the year? What's a goal I can achieve in 3 months? Like, it feels like you want to make a change in your life and you're thinking about it in a very strategic way. So I really like that. Just to give an example to make this like a little bit more concrete, For some of you, you could be leaving a career, you could be ending a job, and you're not so much for your next job. You're not so much thinking, what's the career I need to do for the rest of my life. You're kind of just like, okay, what are my expenses for the next 3 months, and how can I fulfill these expenses in the next 3 months? Like, it feels like you're taking on what you can handle. You're not biting off too much. You're not going to overwhelm yourself. You're not stressing yourself out. You're not, making a mountain out of a molehill. Like, it feels like you're really in control. You're taking responsibility, and you're making decisions that are really going to benefit you. Like, you understand that sometimes in life, you just need to get to the next goalpost. You just need to get to the next marker. Every decision in your life doesn't have to be, a decision that's going to stick around with you for the next 20, 30 years. You have to break those 20, 30 year, those big goals, you have to break them down into smaller, more bite-sized, more maintainable pieces. And that's going to be more sustainable. That's going to be more achievable. And as you hit those smaller goals, you're going to build confidence in yourself. You're going to build momentum, and that's going to keep you going for the long haul. As opposed to if you look at the whole big problem or the whole big plan and you think, how on earth am I ever going to achieve that? And then you get yourself in a negative state of mind and you doubt yourself, then you take no action. So it definitely feels that you're approaching this month very level-headed, because in your current energy that you're bringing to the table, we have the Two of Coins. So it definitely feels that during Libra season, you are really learning how to balance your energy, and you're learning how to balance your needs with the needs of others. Like, it seems like you're really getting a hang of this, or you're really mastering this, and it's really paying off for you. And so for some of you, you could be starting a new relationship in the month of October. And again, you're not thinking about the whole relationship, right? You're not thinking about, the marriage and the kids and the house. You're just going, okay, for the next 3 months, how can we get to know each other better? How can we meet each other's needs? Where do we want to be as a couple in the next 3 months? And that's really helping you to know what you need to do now. Because a lot of times when we think about a big problem, it's hard to know where to even start. But if you have a small goal that's going to help you get to the big goal, it's easier to know what you need to do now. Okay? So very, very, very good energy. It looks like this month is filled with some sort of opportunity. It definitely looks like you're working towards something, you're working on something, and I think that you're going to get whatever it is. Also, one thing I want to point out before we move on is I think the reason why, or what you're letting go of here with this Judgment card, is that I feel like you may be letting go of something that you did in the past that really held you back. So like I said, maybe you would look at a problem and get really overwhelmed and take no action. It looks like this month you're saying to yourself, listen, girl, I know that we have a lot to do, but we need to stay focused here. I know you're scared, but we need to move forward on this relationship. I know you don't feel confident, but we need to take this new job, right? It feels like you're telling yourself, hey, we're no longer going to let this behavior continue because it's not benefiting us. Underneath this, we have the King of Cups. So it really looks like you're finding this really good emotional flow. Like, the parts of you are really working together, right? The masculine and feminine sides of you are working together. All the areas of your life are really working together and finding a way to work harmoniously within you that really helps you to put your best foot forward into the world. So the goal this month, we've got the Empress card. Look at that. I love that. I feel that one of the goals this month is to really learn how to bring your feminine energy to the table in everything that you do. Even if you do have a very corporate, masculine 9 to 5 type of job, how can you incorporate more of your femininity? Where can you slow down? Where can you be more caring? Where can you be more nurturing to others and yourself? What can you create with your specific, unique skills and talents? How can you infuse your life with a little bit more femininity? Because the reality is that not everyone's going to be able to quit their job and go do something that uses their feminine energy, right? Not everyone's going to has the ability to be a stay-at-home mom. Not everyone can work in more feminine fields like nursing or esthetician or doing intuitive work. Not everyone can do that, right? And not everyone wants to do that. However, if you are a feminine energy, how can you bring more of your feminine energy to the table and use it in a way that benefits you? So if you have been feeling really stressed out and really tired, where can you improve your life so that way you don't feel like that? If you're feeling stressed out, it means that you're probably using too much masculine energy and not giving yourself enough time to revert back into your feminine. You're not honoring something, right? Something's out of balance within you. So where can you slow down? Where can you take a break? Where can you be more creative? Where can you be more flowy? So to give an example, if you do work, like I said, in an office environment, take more breaks. I know that a lot of people, when they work, they don't take any breaks. They just keep working. They don't have any boundaries, right? They allow their boundaries to be constantly crossed. Where can you uphold more boundaries? Where can you protect yourself? Take your 15-minute break. Go drink some water. Listen to a meditation. Listen to music. Go for a walk. Decompress. Take your full lunch break, Do things that honor yourself, even if you are out in the world. It doesn't have to be go, 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 go on 100% all the time. That's masculine energy. And that doesn't mean that just because the goal of this month is to use more of your feminine energy doesn't mean just forget your masculine. No, if we forget our masculine, then we're not going to get anything done, right? But where can you bring the two into balance and use them both in a way that's smarter? So that's the goal this month. Now, with it being a goal, are you gonna accomplish this on October 1st? No. It's gonna take the whole month for you to really put this into place. And I do feel that for some of you, as you start to bring more feminine energy to your life and more feminine energy to what you do, for some of you, some things in your life are going to have to end because you may realize that some people don't respect that part of you, or they want you to stay in your masculine, and you may come to a point where you go, you know what, this is not healthy for me. It's not healthy for me to work 80 hours a week and have no breaks and no weekends. That's not my nature. It's not my energy. My health is suffering. My children are suffering. So this doesn't work for me. And if we can't come to some sort of compromise like Libra wants us to do, if we can't come to some sort of compromise that works for both of us, then I'm going to have to respectfully walk away and find something else that works for me. Same thing in relationship. I do feel that some of you may be in relationship with people where you are using more of your masculine energy, and the person who you're with, perhaps you're frustrated because that person's more in their feminine, and that's not natural. There may be like a reversal of the energies. The person that you're dating may be more in their feminine, more passive, not taking action in their life, not taking initiative in their life, not growing, not expanding, not trying to make their life better. And you may realize, okay, maybe that's why my partner and I aren't connecting, because we are maybe both in our feminine energy. Because if you and your partner are both in your feminine energy, then that doesn't create a very electric, live, magnetic attraction, right? Two feminine energies together make really good friends, but it doesn't create like that sexual, magnetic, passionate relationship. So I do feel that some of you will be using more of your feminine energy in your relationship. And if your partner truly is a masculine energy, you switching into your feminine is naturally going to switch that person into their masculine. However, if you switch into your feminine and your partner stays in their feminine, then there's something that's going on with your partner, right? Like, they need to step up more into their masculine energy. And if they're having a hard time doing that, even with you being in your feminine, and they're not influenced by that, then there's something going on with them. And you may need to reevaluate that relationship and reevaluate if that's something that you want to be a part of, or if you want to continue being in your masculine to make the connection continue on. So that's something that you're going to have to really, really think about. However, my final point is that if you are truly a feminine energy, being in your feminine energy as much as you possibly can is going to improve your energy. It's going to improve your mood, which is then going to improve your life. So that's the goal here. To improve your life by being more in your natural energy. Okay, so how can you take action here this month? We have the Lovers card, okay? So there's a couple of different ways that I want to interpret this, but I do feel that by going back to the relationship, your relationship can be a really huge source of energy for you. You know, if you can go to your relationship and play out these dynamics, that's really going to transfer over into your life as well. Because not always, but like if you are in your masculine energy at home, you might kind of go into work and also be in your masculine energy, especially if you have a very masculine type of job. And vice versa. You can definitely take your masculine energy home from work as well. So this card is saying to me is to cultivate more love and relationship in your life. If you are in a relationship, again, like I said, try to switch into your feminine energy a little bit more. You know, don't be so, if you are, only if this applies to you, you know, but try to be a little bit more passive. Try to be a little bit more receptive, more receiving, not taking action, not taking initiative, not saying, let's do this, let's do that. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Try doing the other ways. Try putting your energy more on you. You know, do more things for yourself. Take more time for yourself. Take more time to do your hair, to do your makeup, to get a massage, to do things that are nourishing to your soul. Journaling, yoga, being around water in some way, going to the lake, going to the pool, going to the beach. You know, do things like that to get you more in your feminine energy. And then bring that energy to your relationship. If you're dating, again, same thing. It's like, you don't need to be the one that's contacting people. People can contact you. Like, the feminine doesn't chase, is what I'm getting at. Like, the feminine doesn't chase. The feminine doesn't pursue. The feminine is pursued. The feminine is chased. So be more grounded in your own energy. Cultivate more love for yourself and more love for being feminine and more love for your natural energy. But I definitely do feel like relationship with the right energy can be a really big source of a really big source of inspiration. It can really refresh you, rejuvenate you, revive you. If you and your partner haven't been intimate, if you and your partner have not been connecting on that level, or if you're single and you haven't really found someone to connect with, or the people you've been connecting with haven't really been your thing, again, try switching into your feminine and see how that changes your dating and love dynamics. But the lovers doesn't just have to be related to love and relationship. It can also, to me, because it is connected to Gemini, have to do with friends, being around other feminine energies. Maybe if you have a sister or sisters, hanging around them. But overall, I feel like just being more fun, being more playful is really going to help you to improve your energy. Okay, so let's look at what you're going to gain from this, what you're going to learn from this month. We have the Magician. Like, what you're going to learn is really how to use your energy. So the first thing you have to understand is that feminine energy is extremely powerful. I think a lot of times we think that feminine energy is like weak, or it's like the less desirable energy to have. It's powerless. It's useless. It doesn't get anything done. But you have to erase that from your mind. There is a lot that the feminine energy can do, and the feminine energy can be so influential when used right for getting what you want in many different scenarios. And I won't necessarily go into that, but I think this month, as you make it your mission and your goal to use more of your feminine energy, you're going to learn so much about it, and specifically about what works for you and how you can best use your feminine energy. You're going to learn how to use your feminine energy in the workplace. Like, perhaps you've been having issues with a coworker or been having issues with a boss, and maybe you're going to learn that by switching into your feminine a little bit more in those scenarios, that it helps those conversations go better and you get what you want, as opposed to saying, I need a raise, or I need this, or I want that, or this is wrong, or this never works here. Being more feminine and kind of expressing yourself in a more feminine way may help people to be more receptive, to come to you with solutions, to come to you with offers, and you may get more of what you want by being that way. So I definitely feel that you're going to learn a lot about energies for sure, which is really going to benefit you. Not just in your workplace or in your relationship, but this applies to all of life. So what you'll need to give up this month, what you need to release this month, we have the 6 of Coins, okay? So I feel that when we think about like Libra season and we think about balance, like we put those two things together, but sometimes to get into balance, you have to get out of balance. And what I feel like you have to let go of this month is expecting everything in your life to constantly be in balance, because that is just not possible, right? There are some times where one area of your life is amazing and the other one is suffering, but maybe that's what's needed at that point in time. If you're pursuing a goal, sometimes your life has to get out of balance in order to fix the problem. Sometimes things have to be chaotic and have to be a little messy and have to be a little challenging, so that way you can figure out how to fix them, right? If everything's always perfect all the time, then what is there to fix? What's the challenge? There is none, right? But as we know, life is never perfect. So I feel that what you have to release this month is perfectionism, is thinking that if you do things in XYZ way, then XYZ outcome will come. Or, if you do this 50% of the time, then that's going to happen 50% of the time. Like, life is just not always that perfect. Sometimes things are 40-60. Sometimes things are 80-20. Sometimes things are 90-10, and that's okay. Like, that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing for things to get out of balance. And I feel that you're having to release judgment. And also I feel that another thing that needs to be released this month is like expecting people or your partners to always know where you're at or be where you're at. Like, sometimes you're out of balance with people too, right? Like, there may be someone who you have a good relationship with 90% of the time, but maybe 10% of the time you don't see eye to eye. And that's okay. Like, it doesn't have to be 100% of the time I'm always on the same page as this person. I'm always connecting with this person, or me and this person always have a positive experience 100% of the time that we talk. Sometimes it's not always like that. Sometimes you do disagree with people. Sometimes there is conflict, and that's okay, because everyone is different. Everyone's in a different place in their life. Everyone has a different level of understanding, and we're not always going to relate with 100% of the people 100% of the time. And I think a part of being in your feminine energy is really having that grace and that compassion for people. Knowing that people are not perfect. Knowing that sometimes people are going to be off their game a little bit. Sometimes people feel under the weather. Sometimes people are in a mood. And being able to adjust yourself to facilitate or to work with where someone is at some point in time. That's, I think, what Libra teaches us. Libra teaches us how to kind of sometimes compromise where we are to facilitate or to help other people. And I feel that that's something that definitely may be happening this month. So one example that I have is, like, maybe you're a personal trainer and, you expect 100% from your clients. Like, you want your clients to do all the reps all the way every time because you care about them and you want them to get results. But maybe your client's going through something. Maybe they're just like not feeling it that month for whatever particular reason. Maybe they have something challenging going on and they just can't do it, right? It's like being understanding and being compassionate. Like, it's okay if we maybe only go 2 sets on this one thing. Like, that's okay. Like, I see you're trying your best. I see you're doing what you can, and that's okay. Like, let's just, let's move on, or let's call it quits, and that's okay. Go home and rest, and that's okay. And not feeling, and just giving people grace and compassion. Is there anything else I want to say about that with the 6 of coins here? I think I also want to say too is, like, with the masculine energies in your life, it's like sometimes the masculine energy, they can fall off too. I know a lot of times if you have like masculine energies in your life, like, they seem so calm and collected and focused and strong, but sometimes, like, they are not always that. Like, they have off days too. Masculines have bad days too, and sometimes masculines may need a little bit more attention or affection or love or compassion. and may need the feminine to step up in some way to speak maybe when they can't speak for themselves. Like, that happens too. And to have compassion for the masculine energy, like when they can't always be 100%. So that's the thing. And that's the big thing to like remember, is just because you maybe are predominantly feminine or your partner is predominantly masculine doesn't mean that you never have to step up and use that other part of you. It's not the part maybe you use all the time, but there will be instances where you will have to do something and take initiative or something or take action. It's just, where are you at most of the time? And is where you're at most of the time where you want to be? Okay. All right, so your blind spot this month, your challenge, the things that other people might see about you that you may not see about yourself because you're blind to it, you can't see yourself. We have the Fountain card. So I'm kind of getting this two different ways here. Yeah, I'm kind of getting this two different ways. And you just have to take this how it resonates for you, because this isn't going to apply to everyone. But for some people, your blind spot is that you may always be trying to make something happen, but sometimes you just have to let things be. And so there may be a situation this month, or maybe that's been ongoing in your life, where you keep working so hard to make something happen, and everyone around you like sees that you're working so hard to make something happen, but they feel like you just need to let things be. Like, you just need to let things be, that 99% of your problems would be solved if you just trust in the universe. If you just believed, you would be fine. Because it feels like there's something that you're banging your head against the wall trying to figure out, and everyone around you is like, just calm down. It'll work itself out. The other part of you I feel is the opposite. Some of you I feel like are being too passive with something. Some of you guys are not taking initiative on something, are almost like ignoring something, or it seems to others that you're ignoring something or you're oblivious to something. And there's something that you do need to take more action on. So whichever one sounds like it resonates more with you, let's actually pull some more cards here, and let's try to understand what this is a little bit more, because it's very, very vague, which it's your blind spot, so of course it is. But let's go ahead and let's look at what area of life this is related to. So I'm going to pull one of these cards. So these cards all correlate to the astrological wheel. So we're first going to look at the house that your blind spot is in, or the houses that your blind spot is in. So where is this blind spot? What area of life is this blind spot in? Okay, the first house. So this has to do with yourself. So it's something about you, your physical body, your self-image. It's something about you. Something about your personality, about the way you put yourself out in the world. There's something that you are not seeing about yourself. Okay, let's see what sign this is in relationship to. Scorpio. Okay, so it's about you and the way that you interact with, which makes sense. This is going to be Scorpio season starting in October, but it's something about you and the way that you interact with other people. Yeah, what you may not be able to see about yourself or understand about yourself or know about yourself is that you are very intense. Like, you may be a very intense person. You may be someone who your energy is very deep, and not everyone around you may be as deep as you. Not everyone around you may be as comfortable with going within, with looking at their soul, with, analyzing every little part of themselves. Like, if you're into tarot and astrology and numerology, like, obviously this is something that you're very comfortable with. If it wasn't, you wouldn't be watching this video, right? So you're very comfortable with hard topics. Like, you may be someone that's comfortable with death. Like, maybe you've experienced death, you've gone through death, and it's not something that's like scary to you. It's not a fear you have. Maybe you're someone who's very confident with themselves, right? With the first house, which is Aries and Scorpio, both ruled by Mars. Like, you may be someone who is very confident with like themselves and taking action, and like you're not afraid to be yourself or to express yourself very authentically. Especially if you are someone that has Scorpio energy, like, you may be someone who you come into a situation or you meet people and you make them transform, right? People see you and it makes them look at themselves, and it shows them the flaws in themselves. It shows them the weaknesses within themselves. It shows them where they're lacking, and not everyone is prepared to see the real them. Because that's what Scorpio energy does. Scorpio energy kind of forces you to really see the truth. Whether you want to see it or not, Scorpio energy is going to make you see the truth, and that truth is going to change you. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. I'm kind of seeing that what you need to know or what you don't know about yourself, what you don't see this month, is that you may be unknowingly and not because you want to, you maybe kind of are someone that triggers people. You maybe are someone that forces people to see things, and that can be a little much for some people. And I'm not saying to change yourself. I'm just saying be aware of that and just keep that in mind. And using more of your feminine energy, I feel like, can help to kind of combat this. People will see you as less intimidating, or, maybe the goal or why you're meeting someone is to help them to change and transform, but you'll have more of like a inviting and warm and receptive demeanor. And then when people come to you, right, and they experience that, it'll be because they came to you, not because you went to someone else and said, hey, you need to change this, you need to fix this. It's like you didn't initiate it, because that's when people can kind of get not mad at you, but like they can, it's too much. It's too intense. Like, that's when people can say they're coming on too strong. But if they initiate and they come towards you and experience a change and transformation, then it's almost like they initiated it. So I kind of feel like you need to let other people initiate things this month. It feels very important. It feels like it's just very important for other people to initiate things, for you to really stay in your power, in your feminine power, to be more receptive. That seems to be a better approach for you this month. Let's pull one of the planet cards here before I move on. So we pulled the house and we pulled the sign. So now we're going to pull the planet. So I am actually learning astrology right now. So these cards are aiding me in that. So I'm really loving these. Whoa. All right. So we have 2 cards here. We have the moon and Chiron. Yeah. So the moon is about our feelings and Chiron is about healing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I definitely feel like it just really just kind of confirmed what I was just saying. Like, I feel like your energy, it forces people to really look down inside of them and really analyze how they truly feel. And this is something that people shy away from. A lot of people don't want to go deep. A lot of people don't want to really feel their feelings. Most people want to pretend like their feelings aren't happening. Most people want to act like they're fine when they're not. Most people, want to numb themselves. They don't want to see the truth. They don't want to see reality, because healing is hard, right? Healing is hard. And really going within to do the inner work is hard. If it was easy, everyone would do it. But it's not. It's hard. But if you're watching this and you're spiritually inclined and you're into tarot and astrology, obviously you are someone that enjoys doing this. And so when you're healed and you're awakened and you're a conscious being and you go out into the world and people naturally are interacting with you and comparing themselves to you, and they realize, wow, this is someone that's really in touch with their feelings and emotions, and they realize that they're not, that can be like a really big wake-up call. So it's like you need to let people come to you when they're ready to do the healing, when they're ready to do the work, when they're ready to do the healing, when they're ready to experience you, they will come forward. When they're not, they won't. And this applies to everything: relationships, friendships, the career space, business. They will come forward. Okay. Okay, so how to overcome this? We have the King of Wands. So, being a more receptive type of person, being a more feminine type of person can be really difficult if you're someone that really likes to take action and go out there and initiate for themselves and make things happen. So what this card is saying is to avoid yourself falling more into the masculine, take that same energy that you would want to pursue other people and other things, and take that energy and pursue your hobbies, pursue your passions, pursue your desires, which A is going to make you more attractive and B is going to help you to pass the time. Because being receptive really depends on other people seeing you, other people seeing your worth, other people seeing your value, other people seeing your beauty. That's what the feminine relies on, right? Like flowers don't go out and chase us, right? Like bees maybe do, or flies. Like flowers don't come to us. Flowers stay exactly where they are in their glory, in their beauty, and they wait to be picked. So they're at the mercy of someone seeing their beauty and seeing their beauty and seeing their value and picking them. And that can be maybe a bit challenging if you're someone that's more of a go-getter, initiator, who goes and gets what they want. But again, like we've talked about, like the feminine doesn't chase, the feminine doesn't pursue, the feminine gets picked, the feminine is chased herself, the feminine is sought after. And what makes you more attractive is when you're vibrant, when you're in your energy, when you're in your power, when you are really doing what you love and exuding love. That makes you extremely attractive. And that increases the probability that you're going to be picked. So it's definitely not about energy, right? Or, sorry, it's not about looks. It's not necessarily about looking feminine, because I could definitely tell you there's a lot of feminine looking women who are really masculine. It's about the energy. And doing something you love cultivates feminine energy. So that's how you'll overcome this challenge here, this blind spot. All right, so how you're going to end the month, the outcome here is the 10 of Wands. Yes. This is what I felt with the Judgment card. I feel that a lot of us are carrying weight, whether that's in the form of emotional baggage or guilt and shame or responsibilities, or maybe literally physical weight on your body, are carrying weight that is just too heavy. And as you switch or use more of your feminine energy, you're going to be dropping weight. Some of you may literally lose pounds, lose kilograms this month because you're not holding on to so much stress, especially if you're someone that's a stress eater and you transfer your stress into food. When you're being more of your natural self and living more in your natural energy, you may just naturally lose weight because your mind is less burdened, your heart is less burdened, your mind is just more free to think about things that you actually want to think about and to move in the world a way that's a little bit more natural for you. So you just may naturally feel lighter this month. So it definitely feels that a lot of us are dropping some sort of weight and saying, I'm never going to do that again, right? I'm never going to bear that responsibility again. Like it truly feels like you're dropping something or someone or just some burden. And when you drop this thing, here you come out the other side, the King of Cups. Fully mastering your emotions. So that's why I feel like you really are mastering the feminine energy this month. You really are learning how to utilize it in a way that is more beneficial for you. And Three of Coins, you're able to look ahead towards the future and the sun. Underneath this, it's like you can finally be who you truly are. And Page of Coins here, Two of Cups, like love comes, new opportunities come that are more in alignment with your feminine energy. After dropping the weight. I actually want to clarify the Ten of Wands here to close out the reading, and we'll pull a couple of advice cards too. But yeah, let's look at where you might be dropping the weight here. I'm going to pull another house card. We're going to start with that first. So where and which is this weight being dropped? What area of life or areas of life is the weight being dropped? Thank you. So we have 2 cards here, 4th house and 6th house. Oh my goodness. Crazy. Okay, crazy. I'm going to start with the 4th house actually because I feel like this is more important. But I feel that a lot of you guys are dropping the weight when it comes to family. Okay, when it comes to family, maybe you're really responsible for, or you have felt responsible for your family in some way. Or just the weight of your childhood. Maybe you've had something challenging happen in your childhood, or your parents have instilled something in you that really doesn't resonate with you. Maybe you like feel responsible for your parents. Maybe your parents are sick or elderly and you're like dropping that weight. You're no longer like taking responsibility for them. Maybe you have parents who are like in some way can't take care of themselves, or irresponsible or something. Like in some way, shape, or form, you have a parent that is just like too much. And it's too much to the point where you're unable to live your own life, or you have adopted a lot of what they believed about life to be true, and maybe what they believe about life to be true is very different to what you believe about life to be true. And I feel that this month you're really dropping that. You're really letting all of that go. Perhaps you're like the responsible one in the family, and you make a lot of your decisions to help your family or to support your family, and it's too much weight. Maybe your family is a financial burden on you or a burden on your marriage. You're dropping all of that, and that is really helping. I feel a lot of you guys are like disconnecting with like generational curses, or if everyone in your family has some sort of disease or problem, like you're saying like, no, I'm not going to deal with that. Like I'm going to make better choices for my life. I'm going to do different things for myself, and I'm not going to suffer those same problems. Just because my family has done that or it's genetic doesn't mean I'm doomed or I'm destined to have that problem. So it feels like that's really what's happening here. Some of you guys may be just getting out of your comfort zone, or maybe moving houses or moving where you live. Maybe a place has become very burdensome on you. But in some way, shape, or form, it's like your physical place of living. Something about it is changing. Maybe you have a roommate that's leaving, or maybe you've been assuming a lot of responsibility for taking care of the home and you're dropping that. It definitely feels that there is some weight that you are just not, some weight that has to do with your comfort zone, where you come from, where you've been, what you learn. It feels like you're detaching from it. And then we have the 6th house, and this has to do with work, okay? Work, our daily routines, our daily habits, our health. It feels to me that a lot of you guys are transforming this area of your life as well. Like I said, a lot of you, I feel like, are walking away from a job scenario that is just not healthy, that's not working for you, that doesn't resonate with you, that's making you sick, making you unwell, whether that's physically or mentally or emotionally or spiritually. You're leaving that. I feel like some of you guys, like I said, I feel some of you guys are literally going to be losing weight. So I feel that some of you guys are going to be like cutting something out of your diet, like saying, okay, no more, I'm not eating any more fast food, or I'm not having any more coffee, or I'm not having any more dairy, or something like that. Like you're just saying like, no, that's not going to happen anymore. I'm not going to do that. Some of you guys, because the 6th house has a lot to do with service. It's like some of you guys may be like serving someone or serving something that is just like too much. It's too much. It's too heavy. It's too hard. The burden is too much, and you're letting it go. You're walking away from it. Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead to close out the reading. Let's pull a Moonology card here. And let's get some advice. Some advice from the Moonology deck, please. Most important messages, please, here. A few messages here for the feminine. Okay, all right. So we'll take those three. So the first one we have is you and your loved ones are safe. So yeah, I strongly feel that a lot of you, there is some sort of like family thing. Whatever it is, right? There's some family thing that I think is you have felt like if I'm not here to take care of my family, like no one can take care of them. Maybe you put your parents into like or you're thinking about putting your parents into like a nursing home, but you feel guilty about it. But you also know that you just no longer can take care of them. Like you just can't do it yourself. You know, you need help. And I feel that a lot of you guys are like unburdening yourself and saying, this is too much for me. I can't do this anymore. I have to just let my parents go. And it's not my responsibility. Like their health and their well-being is not my responsibility. You know, what happens to them happens to them. And there's nothing that you can do, because I feel like a lot of you guys have maybe tried to help your parents or your family. Maybe you try to help them to eat better or to live better, and they just keep doing the same negative habits, right? Sixth house, they have the same negative habits day in and day out, same negative mindset, same old belief patterns, and they just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. And nothing's happening, nothing's changing. And it's like you just have to just know, like you have to give it to the universe and say, not my responsibility anymore. I can't do anything about it. I can't change them. I can't fix them. It is what it is. And I think that'll be a massive weight for a lot of you. A new moon in Cancer, a new beginning in this area of your life, a new beginning in the area of home and family is going to be starting. Don't let pride get in your way. Again, I think some of you guys have been holding on to something for a long time because you really wanted to do it yourself. You wanted to be the superhero, the superwoman, the superman. You wanted to be the one that everyone could count on, everyone could rely on, everyone could, you know, to save the day. And it's like, everyone has limits. Everyone has limits. Like, not everyone can be everything. And a part of being feminine is understanding that your energy is very limited. You don't have unlimited energy like the masculine tends to have, or a lot of energy. Like, your energy can only go so far, and you need to understand when your energy is being like pushed to the max. You know, you need to understand when your energy is limited, and you need to understand where it is you need to ask for help in your life, because you just can't do it all. And then finally, we have conclusions are within reach. You know, I definitely feel there is an ending. This month has the energy of endings. You know, again, Scorpio season is going to be starting, you know, towards the end of the month, which is a time of death and release and letting go and transformation. And I really do feel that there is going to be the death or the ending or the conclusion of something in your life, so that way it can be transformed, that way it can be changed, the situation can be made better. But before things get better, they have to get worse, right? Sometimes things have to get out of balance, get a little chaotic and a little crazy before they get better. And that's what I think is on par here. But remember, the way you're going to deal with this best is by really just staying in your feminine energy and staying in your power, okay? All right, guys, so I hope this reading has helped you. I hope it gave you a ton of clarity, a ton of insight, a ton of guidance. And if you would like to have this reading done for you and your own personal situation, if you want to see what's going to be going on for you in the month of October, then I highly recommend you booking in as soon as possible, as close to the beginning of the month as possible, so that way you can get the messages that you need for the month. So again, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up so other women can watch this. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications so I know that you are with me. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.